What is milk? Whole, broken, strawberry, disgusting. It's an absolutely heinous beverage that comes from the boobs of pretty much every mammal. Yes, that includes the dolphin. And humans appear to have a very special relationship with it for some reason. We actively seek to drink milk which is not our own, and additionally, we do something unheard of in the animal kingdom, which is drink it past infancy. What? I don't have words to explain how extremely unnatural this is. Despite what beefy dads on TikTok say, us drinking that piss is not in any way primal or instinctive. I mean, it is. If you're a little baby, are you a little baby liver king? Fuck you. Oh yeah, most cats are actually lactose intolerant. Milk is a tasty treat for kittens, but popular media has absolutely fooled us into believing that it's okay to give them milk when fully grown. Do not give cats milk when fully grown, they will vomit and shit everywhere. But how did humans end up here? What traumatizing event led us to become full-grown moronic milk chuggers? Let's go back and talk about the history of milk. The earliest proof we have of people drinking milk is from 6,000 years ago, evidenced by milk-specific proteins stored in the teeth of skeletons excavated in Sudan and Kenya. But the ability to digest milk properly in adult age is a genetic mutation that did not exist back then. Early African and European societies had domesticated cows, sheep, and goats since at least 8,000 years ago, and one day just wow. And just kept doing it until they could, well, stomach it. This was an incredible new way of getting nutrition from cattle without killing them. And perhaps through fermenting it, they were able to consume more of it since that process breaks down the majority of the lactose. So to sum up part 1, we basically forced our bodies to accept milk just because it was available and nutritious at a time where these nutrients were harder to attain from elsewhere. But that hardly explains our historically crazed obsession with milk. Holy cow, this is good. Thank you, holy cow. Milk has been viewed as something incredibly appealing and delicious despite the fact that this is the source. Yeah, it looks like a surgical glove full of custard and steroids. Yet so many cultures worship it. According to the Greek creation myth, the Milky Way galaxy was a splatter from Hera's breast milk. Similarly, in ancient Egypt, the goddess Hathor was depicted as the winged cow of creation that guarded the fertility of the land. Milk also arrived in India about 1,000 years later, and being an essential part of the Vedic civilization's diet, the cow became a sacred animal in their religion as well. Several ancient cow goddesses have existed in Ireland's mythology as well. Bovine, a white cow that transformed Ireland from a barren land into a green and fertile one. And in Buddhism, like mother, father, brother, or any other kind of kin, cows are our kin most excellent, from whom come many remedies, which seems nice. The cow was valued greatly for what it gave, aka the fats and proteins in milk that were essential for not dying back then. But now, oh boy. Now that you've heard all this religious pro-milk BS from the past, I would like for you to look at your cow goddesses in the current age of excess and overconsumption. You spoiled milk sluts. You did this because throughout history, you could not help the insatiable need to overproduce and spread milk. Which leads me to part 3, crying over spilled milk. Or how a man's love for milk divided and put a strain on intercultural relations. Europe loved their milk and assumed everyone else would love this garbage too, so when Vikings established a colony in Finland, they wished to have a peaceful relationship with the Native Americans, inviting them to their dwelling to serve them a new and strange beverage. Yes, milk. Now, the natives did not have the milk gene that Europe had been developing for over 10,000 years. So the very next morning, they had woken up with abdominal pains and threatened war, stating that the Vikings had tried to poison them. Unable to defend the colony, the Vikings fled. Now, this is a bit exaggerated. They probably would have offered to trade cheese with them or something, not straight up milk, but the result was the same. If it weren't for milk, America would have had 500 years more history and been way cooler. In conclusion, milk is racist. This is also a good spot to mention how milk and the westernization of Japan's diet, well, kind of ruined it. Like I said, one could easily and more comfortably, especially in modern days, get the nutrients you would get from milk from other sources. I will repeat this so many times, you don't need milk. A lot of countries don't have the climate, land, or terrain to support milk production. For example, China had soy in place of dairy. It essentially covers all dietary needs that milk does without being gross or causing stomach issues. But the real big milk propaganda hit one country in special especially hard. In Japan, milk was not introduced until the 19th century. Translated medical books praised milk as a beverage, I quote, good for health in civilized countries. It isn't, but go off white liquid supremacists. Despite the majority of the population being lactose intolerant, milk was slowly being added to Japan's diet because of BS like the Red Cross's 10 reasons why milk is the best food. But it was still not a big part of it. Not until the major food shortage after World War II. Trade Japan, licensed agencies for relief in Asia, sent them their first shipment of supplies in 1946. Now, a substantial amount of the food delivered was skim milk powder, making it a third of children's diets. Which was fine, until the famine ended, but milk remained, and by the 1980s, there was a significant increase in obesity and lifestyle illness rate, which were not present at a time when cattle was used as animals of labor rather than livestock. Milk is just bad, the quantity we consume is absurd, and civilization needs to progress past the need for it. Because milk and other dairy products are the top source of saturated fat in an American diet. Milk consumption is tied to so many illnesses like heart disease, cancer, and it really seems like this industry is really just a copy of the tobacco industry, but one of them gets taxed and the other one gets away with it because, oh my god, pizza is life. The final conclusion of this video? The dairy industry, evil. Milk, disgusting. Don't you give me comments like this. Also, COVID every Friday or Thursday now, because I'm once again a working lady. I'll probably make a video about it soon because I work at a pretty cool tattoo parlor from Monday to Wednesday. Okay,